Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on the Canva Creator Series, the Pro version. I'm Cindy Nellis, and I'm the director here at Penn West University Clarion Small Business Development Center, and we're very happy that you've decided to spend an hour with us. Canva is definitely a user-friendly graphic design platform that allows anyone to create professional quality visuals using customizable templates, images, and tools. No design experience is required. And we want to show you today how to get the most out of the Pro Vision. Following today's webinar, you will receive our content, our slide presentations, any other presentation materials that we have, as well as the recording. Probably will be later this afternoon or early tomorrow. Just a few quick reminders. If you have a question for me, we'd like for you to enter that into the chat. We've also enabled the Q&A, and we do have support with our speaker today to address some of your questions throughout today's webinar, but so we do have someone who will be answering questions in the Q&A, but we won't be answering live questions or your questions live until after we're done with our presentation. I'd like to get started with just a quick introduction about the Pennsylvania Small Business Development Center. We are a organization with a mission to help businesses start, grow, and prosper. And we are grant funded, so our one-on-one business consulting services are provided at no cost, and they're confidential. We spend most of our time with our consulting services. However, we do have training seminars and webinars, just like today. Those particular events are held in person, virtual like today, as well as on demand. Most of our training events are at no cost, but some of them do have a cost associated with them. And the Small Business Development Center network, we are here to provide you, our small business owners, with tools and resources, as well as connecting you with many more resources and expertise to help you address your needs and challenges that you have in starting a business, as well as in operating your business. This just is a map that shows you our network here in Pennsylvania. We have 15 centers, all located at institutions of higher education. We all have geographies that we cover, so take a look at your county and the SBDC that covers that county. But of course, there's no wrong door to our network. You can always connect with me, and I'll make sure that you get connected to the SBDC that covers your county. Here is my information, my center. I'm here at Penn West University in Clarion. Our center website or our center email is sbdc@clarion.edu. I'll also be sending an email after today with my email address. You're always welcome to reach out to me as well. So I'd like to introduce you to our speaker. Rachel Wolf is the creative content creator and social media coordinator at Kutztown University, SBDC. She creates humanized educational environments that encourage students to develop meaningful relationships with faculty, staff, and administrators. She provides opportunities for students to give back to and positively transform their communities. She creates proactive work philosophies that proactively bring important information, opportunities, and support services to students rather than waiting for students to seek it out. So Rachel, with that, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to turn it over to you.
I am coughing. Hi,
You
everyone.
okay?
Oh, coughing. So sorry about that. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm gonna take a sip of water. My name's Rachel. I currently work at the Kutztown Small Business Development Center. I have been working in the Pay a SBDC network for the past 5 years. When I first started in the network, my role really was more behind the scenes, working for our lead office, doing social media and content creation for our internal network. Um, and my role quickly transformed into doing content development and digital marketing support for our clients based out of our Kutztown center. With that, Canva became a huge part of my daily role in a way that I was able to really learn the ins and outs of this program and um, develop ways that we're able to help our clients utilize this. If you were here with us a few weeks ago, we did a part one of this series. Today is part two. So, part two, we're going to be focusing on the pro version of Canva. So, the one difference about Canva Pro is there is a added fee. So that added fee is a monthly subscription cost to unlock some additional benefits of Canva Pro. I will say that in order to utilize and benefit from Canva, you don't need to be a Canva Pro subscription user. However, there are additional benefits that we'll go over today that can really enhance the access point of Canva. So we will discuss that today. I will say that after doing session one with all of you, especially if you're here from the first session, um, I found it beneficial that we'll kind of go through a little bit more hands-on throughout the presentation rather than me just talking about some of these features and waiting till the end to go through them. So I'm going to be a little bit more interactive from the start to kind of show you some of my favorite tips and tricks. We're going to wait till the end to do some more interactive Q&A. But I do want to let you know that even though Cindy did discuss that we are a county by county resource, that doesn't mean that you don't have access to send me emails and ask questions. My goal is always to make sure clients are served and clients have the resources that they need to be successful. So whether that means you send the Kutztown SBDC an Instagram DM asking for a Canva tip, or you send us an email, we're here to make sure that you get your questions answered. So feel free to ask in the chat, send an email, and we'll get back to you. And I thank Valerie, one of my team members that's here with me today. She also works closely in this program, so she'll be of great assistance to make sure that you get your questions answered. So let's get started. And like I said, I'm gonna do it a little bit different today, just so I make sure you get maximum benefit. But if there are things that you find you want me to discuss, feel free to go through. Because Canva is so robust, I might just think of things too as we go on that I want to talk about, just so you can get maximum benefit. Um, in terms of Canva Pro, just to go over Canva Free versus Canva Pro does start at $15 per month. Some of the things that you do unlock with that subscription are social media scheduler, storage, more organizational tools, magic resize, and a bunch of other things that are accessible.
Looking for you.
Um,
Just have them wait.
I have access to a bunch of other different tools. Um, we, as you can see, that there are a lot of those things that you do have access to in Canva free. But you really do unlock a lot of those additional resources in Canva Pro that really just expand the reach. $15 a month obviously is a commitment, but one thing I do like to say is Canva Pro can be a one-stop shop. Things that it unlocks can be your AI tool, your social media scheduler, If you need a low-level access point of a website, you can create a website right through Canva. So there's a lot of tools that you can utilize right through Canva Pro for that cost of $15 a month. So when you break down some of your expenses that you might already be spending on some of your other digital tools, you might be able to get all of those right through your Canva Pro subscription that you might not be getting through your Canva free account. So that's something to keep in mind. Um, no matter which account you're using, free or pro, you always start with creating your design, whether that be a template or creating a blank from scratch. It's important to now understand if you are using a Canva Pro account, you're going to unlock a whole new series of templates. That's one of the added bonuses of your Canva Pro account is now you won't be limited to just the free templates. That's important to keep in mind. So you unlock additional resources with the pro membership. So when you're going into design, now any of these that before would have this crown now have access for you in terms of a template. You don't have limited use because of using a free account. So that's an added bonus. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll always have your toolbox. Some of these things previously using a free account, such as your brand toolkit prior would have been locked. This is something that I think is incredibly important for small business owners, nonprofits, etc., to utilize just to keep brand consistency. As you can see right now, I do have this set as the SBDC. So right in here, you're able to go in and set up your brand, your personal brand. So here we have ours as the SBDC. So I have all of our logos in here. This is for our Kutztown Center specifically. So I have different variations of our logo. You're able to edit that and upload and save. And then say you have different members of your team. You can leave a little bit of a note to let them know how they want to utilize them. So I have just a little memo. Make sure to use the logo appropriately. If the background is dark, the logo should be done in white. Just to remind the team how they should utilize those. Um, I have 3 different color palettes for our logo usage and our colors scheme in general for our branding. So our primary color palette is this teal, white, and lime green. Secondary colors come in as gold, another shade of green, a aqua color and a white. And then our tertiary colors is our third color palette, and you can see that here. So I have all of these set in here, so it's easier to tweak templates, things of that nature, and you're able to kind of go in and add those as well. So then they're always there, so you don't have to be kind of putting in the number codes for your color palettes, dragging and dropping the little eyedropper, and it makes everything a lot more seamless so you can have branding cohesive across all of your digital marketing and print materials. In addition, you also have the opportunity to do your fonts. In here, I have uploaded our specific fonts that we use for our marketing materials. You'd be able to go in here and edit those accordingly to your specific brand needs as well. With Canva Pro, there's also an element of AI that's also incorporated. Here, it lets you utilize the voice of your brand. And then anytime you utilize the um, Magic Write tool, you can apply your specific business's brand voice. So here I have a little excerpt of how we talk when we use SBDC language. So this can be utilized and applied directly in any marketing materials that you use with Canva. I don't have any added, but you do have the option to add brand photos. So here I'll add a few just for purposes. Here's a recent event we did. Um, So I'll add them in there just because they're SBDC photos. So I'll save them. And then here's photos of the SBDC and events that we've hosted. This was recently at our Harrisburg Regional Chamber. So then my team knows that those are specifically SBDC elements that they can utilize for any of our marketing materials because they were SBDC specific events. So they can drag and drop those in any templates because they were at a lender roundtable event that we hosted. Here's graphics. So here's some of our partner logos and things of that nature that we have right here in Canva, our lead office logos, just to jazz things up. We have different little icons for each of the counties we serve, just to jazz things up. Our county outlines and one of our specialty programs. So just having those things here, as well as templates specifically for different things, just to make it easier to access, that we've customized specifically. So this is going to be a critical tool for you and your business, just to keep all of your assets. That consistency is going to be key for building your brand recognition externally to your audience and your target audience across social media for your print and digital assets. And I think that's one of the biggest wins that Canva has had. It makes making these assets so accessible for people that aren't graphic designers by trade so much easier. You don't need to go to a digital marketing agency to have all of these things at your fingertips. While I still encourage you, if you get to a point, to invest in a digital marketing agency because we love supporting small business, I think this does make it accessible to a small business that might not be at that stage of their business, to be able to invest in those types of services. So that's the first thing I did want to mention, is that with Canva Pro, you now do unlock this resource, which can be transformative to just moving things quicker in your business to maintain that consistency. Something else that is extremely beneficial and can really save you a lot of time is Magic Resize. Magic Resize is going to be one of those pro features that gets unlocked, and this can help you format things for different, whether it be social media, different print sizes, and it helps you create things in different formats depending on what you need them for. So say you're making something that you need to post on Instagram, but you also need to post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and you're also going to be printing out a postcard, all of the same size image. So let's say we're going to be taking this presentation, for example, but we also want to make an Instagram post. We would just go up here to resize in the top left-hand corner, search Instagram post. To mention, you also can search by what you're looking for, so you don't have to memorize the size of the dimensions of these different units anymore. Canva already has them there generated for you, which is a huge bonus. So you could click Instagram post, copy, and resize. So we'll make a copy so it still maintains your original copy, which is important. And then we'll open the Instagram post. So now we have our presentation resized to the size of an Instagram post. So our design is formatted for the dimensions of Instagram, and we didn't have to remake it, which is really helpful, and saves us a lot of time. Obviously, sometimes you might have to tweak the design a little bit if you want to make it formatted appropriately depending on what it is. I had a lot of white space on my slides, so I might want to move things around, but depending on what it is, you might not always have to do that. So that is going to be really important for you to do. And there's so many different things. It'll also give you options and ideas of what you might want to resize it to. So if you're not really even sure, it kind of gives you those ideas. Some other things in this toolbar while we're there is the magic switch. So if you're also in here, you can use the translate tool. So in addition to magic resize, you have magic switch, which allows you to take your document and translate it. So you can do page by page, or you can do your full document. So you can select the specific language that you're looking for to be translated into. Obviously, there is no quality like a human translator, but if you're looking for some type of language translation tool, Canva does now have that built in with Canva Pro. And that would be up here in your tool dialog after going to the resize. And you could also kind of take any of your documents and formulate it into a regular document. So say I have this whole presentation for you here today, and I would like this to be, so this presentation that I created for you today, I'm like, you know what? I'd like this to be put into a marketing video script because I'm going to make a video to put out on social media to tell clients of SBDC about it. I could transform this into a document based on all of the slides. I could also do transform into a document. So now it'll create a video script for me. And this is a tool of Canva Pro. So we'll wait for it to think a little bit and I'll show you what it comes up with. So here's a little video. So basically a little Instagram reel per se, script to talk about the magic resize tool, the background remover tool, magic eraser, all of the different things that I'm going to be talking about with you today that you can do in Canva, giving you a brief little overview, and it's a little script that you could make into a little video and talk about to do on social media. So that is what the Canva, what is it called? The Canva transform into doc did for us right here in the toolbar. Canva transform into doc, and then I selected marketing video script, and it kind of gave me that automatic summary into a video mini transcript, so I could take what I was working on in Canva and make a little video out of it. So these are the types of things that Canva Pro can do for you, and it's kind of like your one-stop shop of AI combined with digital content creation. And this is what can be really helpful. So you have song lyrics, poem, alt text, professional email memo, detailed project plan, LinkedIn posts, content marketing ideas, presentation outline, creative blog posts, executive summary. So let's try presentation outline, since this is a presentation that I'd be giving to all of you today. So these are really great tools to help you streamline and get a bit more organized in your business. So here is a little bit of an outline that you could start from and build on to get yourself organized with an upcoming presentation. So you built your slides out, and now you want to kind of have that framework of going more in depth, and knowing what you want to talk about. So Canva kind of took an outline and overlining analysis of your discussion points. So this is a great thing to even prepare for an upcoming meeting. Say you're going to be meeting with clients in your business, or you're a coach and you want to prepare for an upcoming meeting. You can send this out to the person that you're meeting with, just so they can know what you're going to be discussing in your meeting coming up. So these are some quick things that Canva does. The great thing is it does these little headers. So here you can just click edit, and it brings up this whole header space. As you can see here, you can tweak a little bit. So here, let's just throw this to the back, send to back, and let's change the color a bit to update with our branding based on, and here you're seeing in the left-hand corner with our brand toolkit. So let's add our logo. So let's save that. And now I have a branded outline of the presentation that I could send out. And then here's back at our original document here that we had resized for Instagram, but now we have this document that has a nice header, all branded, so it all aligns well with what we're working on. So these are just some simple things in Canva that you can do just to maximize professionalism, add a few extra stars, and it can really just make things look a little bit more polished. Okay, so let's move on. So we went through Magic Resize. From Magic Resize, we also learned what you can what you can do underneath that tab. So under Magic Resize, you could also access Magic Switch, which unlocks Magic Translate and transform into doc. So now you have your toolkit of additional things. So from there, let's learn the background remover tool. This is one of my favorite things. So here, these are the instructions for Magic Remover tool. Let's just start with an image. Let me take one from my photos here. All right, let's take Lorena. So this is Lorena. If any of you are from the Kutztown Center, you've probably met Lorena. Lorena is our bilingual business consultant, so you can say hi to Lorena. Here we have a picture of Lorena, but we're not really liking this blue background. We just kind of want her background to be gone. So you'll click on this photo of her, and up here in this toolbar that's on the document, you'll see background remover. You click it and voila, the background is gone. And then you're able to do whatever you'd like with that. So if any of you are past users of Photoshop, you probably have spent many hours using cut tools and trying to cut around an image. And this saves a lot of time and pain. And it gets rid of it in one click. So just to show you another image, how it does it. Here's a picture of me in Yosemite. Just gets rid of that background. Another hack that I think is really great while we're on this image editing is so a lot of times you'll get images that don't have great quality, whether it be your headshot or maybe you have an image that you took with your phone. Maybe it's a product photography and you just want it to look a little bit better. You can go to edit. So you'll click on your image, you go to edit, and you scroll down here to the bottom at where it says apps, and you'll click on image upscaler. This is another one of those tools that is a Canva Pro only user. You'll click on image upscaler and you'll have the opportunity to upscale the resolution. So you'll want to click on it to make it as high as possible. So in this case, it'll be 8 plus. You'll click 8 times. You'll have to wait for it to load. And then you can click replace. It's hard to see probably through my screen, but this can be really valuable, especially through when you have a headshot and stuff that's really not that clear. So that's a really great tool, especially when you're trying to save an image that really just is not great and you want to enhance it. So that's something I would definitely encourage you to keep in the back of your little toolbox. So now you have the background remover tool and you have the image upscale. Again, to access background remover up here in the toolbar. If you want to image upscaler, you'll click on the image, go into the side toolbar and scroll down to apps and click image upscaler and then select upscale resolution. Magic eraser tool. So magic eraser tool, this is a great option to get rid of additional unwanted objects in a photo. So this again is a Canva Pro feature. You'll click on the image. You will go under Magic Studio and go to Magic Eraser. So you'll want to use the brush tool and then brush over what you no longer want in the photo. So here we're just really wanting the hand with the candle. So we'll brush over those additional pieces that we don't want in the photo. And there we go. Then we get rid of that excess um, clutter in the photo that we just wasn't really adding to our nice streamlined photo. So now we have a clean photo for social media. And say we wanted to like add our personal branding on there. If you had like your specific business, then you'd be able to kind of add that in the corner. If you had your own candle company, that would be like a great place to put your business logo or something in the corner. So that's a great tool to utilize. Something else that I really like to utilize is the tech tool. So this past week, I was actually working with a student pitch competition and they needed to make presentations. And for the presentations, they wanted to brand their presentations and make sure that their logos and everything were cohesive through the presentations. But they didn't know what the fonts were. They just kind of used AI generated logos and such. They were high school students, and I recommended that they try to make sure everything was cohesive throughout, but they didn't know how to get the fonts and things to match. So I encouraged them to use the grab text tool in Canva. So something you can do when you're not sure how to pull the font is you can use the grab text tool. So let's use this image for example. So we'll take this Artopia image and we'll click edit, and let's do grab text, and it'll it'll ask you what part of the image that has text that you want to grab. So let's just click the Artopia part, grab, has to think for a few seconds, and then it makes it that you can select it. So found the font that's most closely related. So I'll drop this again, the image again, so you can see, and I'll show you how closely related the font is. So now you can start making a document that matches. So say you have to make a presentation that quickly aligns and you want to make it on brand so it looks professional. Now you have the font that is aligned, or maybe you got a logo created 10 years ago and you never got the fonts from the person that made your logo. Now you might be able to pull out that font so you can update your website and update your digital marketing files. I feel like that's something that happens. We do a lot of digital marketing and kind of logo consulting here at the center just to kind of help people streamline some of their digital assets. And I think that's something that happens more often than you would think, that people don't get the full assets from the person they hired to work on their logo. So trying to get those assets figured out is a huge problem for small business owners. So this is your solution in Canva Pro. So again, you would click on the image that you're trying to pull the text from, go to edit, go to text grab, and then you would click and then select the text that you're looking to pull the font from. This can be a really great tool, and then it will just convert it to text with the font, and then you're able to use that and it'll give you the font name. So in this sense, it's all 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 Iran heavy. I'm very bad at pronouncing things, but you get the point. So that could be helpful for you. Okay, the next thing is Magic Write. Magic Write is the AI behind everything in Canva. So this is going to be something that if you haven't already used, you probably can get behind to start supporting yourself. So Canva, anytime you have a text box in Canva, you'll see this little icon that's a pencil with the little star, and it'll bring up these different icons. Transform text, rewrite, fix spelling, continue writing, shorten, more fun, more formal, change voice, generate quiz, generate AI voice. These are your Magic Write options that give you and unlock your AI opportunities. So you can write prompts right in Canva for you to be able to expand on. Whether this is, let's write a prompt for a quick reel script, or let's write an outline, or let's expand on how to use Magic Write in Canva. There's a variety of different things that you can utilize this for. But that is how you would use prompting like you would a large language model. If you're not familiar with AI and that's something that you are looking to expand on, I would encourage you to look on pasbdc.org and check out some of the offerings that the PASBDC network does offer in AI, whether it be the Kutztown Center or one of the other centers. We are doing a push for AI. That's something that I think is a good foundation knowledge for all entrepreneurs to at least have that base knowledge on how it might be able to impact your business in a positive way, whether it be for the work that you do in Canva or just other work that you do. Just having at least those foundations could be strong and pivotal for your business, even if it's using it for specifically your digital marketing. It can come in handy. Um, I know throughout the next few months, I've seen a few different AI options being held across the state, so that could be of benefit. And whether that be for ChatGPT, whether that be for Gemini, depending, no matter what the platform, those foundational skills in AI can be applied across the board. So those are things that you can also apply here in Canva. So I do want to let you know that even if it is a different platform, just a general large language model can be applied here. So using the prompting, using those different tools could be accessible. And that's what I think I really love about investing in something like Canva Pro is you're getting access to an AI tool, you're getting access to a social media scheduler, you're getting access to a digital design tool, you're getting access to a video editing tool, you're getting access to a photo editing tool, um, you're getting access to a QR code generator. Um, the list goes on truly. There's also opportunities for educational learning on Canva. Um, to be honest, an hour isn't even enough for me to give you a full scope of learning of how Canva can help expand your business. But the breakdown is really incredible. So when you're thinking about the cost of your different subscriptions, and how they benefit, looking at how the different tools actually might all kind of break down and be found in this one platform, right, might actually really be beneficial to you. So I'd encourage you to do some research on that, um, and make yourself well-rounded in your tech tools. That's a really good investment in yourself and your business and your future. So I did want to touch a little bit on video in Canva because I love video for Canva. A lot of people will tell you DaVinci Resolve or CapCut or other tools. I'm a very big Canva video editing person for a lot of reasons. I think Canva Pro does an excellent job in making really streamlined tools that are really user friendly and provides a great way for captions, a great way for quick editing, and a great way for branding and easy ways to export. And it also gives you access to royalty-free music, which is hard to find. So let's take a look into videos and what that looks like. So let's look at from a real perspective. Okay. So, all right. So here in Canva, this is the editing space for a reel. But I wanted to show you some of the Canva Pro features for editing, something that Canva has recently done is given the option for how you can cut and trim videos. So here is a video, for context. We did a visit with state reps last week. Yeah, that's what we did. So here's a video clip from that. Here in Canva Pro, there's now different ways you can trim a video. So here you just drag and drop the clip in. You click on trim, and you can either do auto trim or highlights. So if you click on highlights, it'll review the clip, and then it'll break down your segment in three different, it'll give you different options of how it reviews the clip. So here it's like breaking it down into an introduction and greeting, a conversation continues, and question time. I'm gonna turn the audio off so you don't have to keep hearing that. So it's the introduction and greeting, it's the conversation, and the question time. So it's breaking it down into those three different segments so you can then pick and choose which part you want to include in your video. So you don't have to be like, oh, let me drag and pull this different audio clip. So you're spending time and more time deciding which clips from this you want to include. So here's another clip that we'll do. And we'll add.
Of fruition. So we have a lot of work to be done here. But again, that's the kind of energy that the print zone.
So here's another clip. So again, we'll do that for this, and we want highlights so we can pick three different versions. So introduction to the project, energy and business owners, history of the space. So then there's another three different clips that we could pick from. So this gives you the opportunity to just segment out those different clips, and select the one that you want to incorporate into your design. So it makes it easier to edit your videos. You could also do auto trim, which will just take a certain segment of it, and do a trim of the part that it just selects as the best out of the whole video. So these are ways that you can utilize the video editing tool right in Canva. Another thing is most people watch their videos. It's very high statistic that people watch videos without the audio on. So it's really important to have captions on your videos, also because people with different impairments. So if you go to the left-hand column and scroll all the way down to captions, Canva will now generate captions. There's a lot of other tools online that will do this for you. Why do I like it in Canva? Because it lets you brand it to your specific brand, which can really add some appeal. So you just have to go to the left-hand side, go to captions, click generate, and then it will do this for your video. And then you're able to brand it right to your specific colors. So you just are able to do that right how you see fit. And it's as easy as that. Okay. Okay, well, there's only 10 minutes left, so I'm going to stop sharing and allow for questions because if I don't, I'm just going to keep going on and on and on. And then I won't be helpful to people that have questions. So, um, we can open it up for questions. And like I said before, we are available for you to email us directly and answer additional questions that you might have, and meet with you for additional follow-up if need be. Um, I know some of you that are on here may be Could Center specific clients already, so you might have already connected with us at some point. So if you have, hello, and we're happy to have you here joining us today. But I'd love to open it up.
Rachel, in the Q&A section, we do have a couple remaining questions. Maybe if you can take a look in there. I think you've addressed most of these and I've kind of gone in and answered them as well, but
Oh, can you please show the sections that contain scheduler? Let me pull that up.
are you bringing up the scheduler piece?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're in there, it might make sense to go over, there were a couple questions regarding print features within Canva.
Okay. What questions do we have about the printing?
Let me see. Well, one was, will we have time to look at the print options offer from Canva today? And I saw something about brochures. Hold on. Yeah, I'm planning on participating in an event where I need brochures and postcards and possibly a QR code. Does Canva do printing, or can it easily give me something to bring to a printer?
Okay. So yes, Canva does allow you to not schedule, print things right from Canva. And you have a few options. One, if you're looking to have things directly printed and shipped right from Canva, you do have that option. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me pull up a document for you. And sorry, I'm trying to pull up the scheduler, but it's being a little quirky with my all my social media accounts because it's like asking me, so I'll try to figure that out after I share this.
I've noticed that as well on my end too. But if you can even show where the scheduler is in the menu, I think that might be helpful.
Yeah. Okay, so say you're in Canva here, and here is Lorena again and her business card. So say you want to have this printed directly from Canva, you can have that directly printed from Canva. You'd go to the top right-hand corner and press share, and then you can click print with Canva. Canva gives you the option to get a variety of things printed. You can get business cards, wall calendars, tumblers, business cards, retractable banners, sweatshirts, folded cards, posters, notepads, mugs, stickers, floor banners, you name it. All of these things are available to be printed right from Canva and shipped right to your business or your house. So if you want something that is pretty minimal thought involved, you're not really worried about cost or production, you can order it directly through Canva. Obviously, you're going to need to pay the cost of getting it printed, but by just selecting these, you are able to kind of go through and order this and move forward with printing it through Canva. It'll give you options of the different paper finish, the details, how many you want. So here you're looking at about 100 business cards for $30. So prices aren't the cheapest, but they're also not completely outrageous. So for convenience sake, if you would like to utilize Canva for printing, you can. If you're looking for downloading your content to get printed elsewhere, you will want to go to share, download, PDF print. This is how you're always going to want to download your documents to have them printed elsewhere. Flatten PDF, and then you're going to change the color profile from RGB, best for digital use, to CMYK, best for professional printing. And then you'll click download. This is the format that you'll always want to make sure your documents are saved in to prepare to save your file for printing. Before you print, you'll always want to flip through your document too to make sure all layers of your image are present and saved. Sometimes, especially if you don't flatten your PDF, you might see certain layers are missing. So you'll always want to check this before you send it off to a printer. One thing to note, staples usually will match printer quotes. Obviously, we always encourage you to support a small business. So if you can support a small business when going to get your your print marketing materials printed, we encourage you to go that route. But if that's not possible and you do need to use staples, we will remind you that they will match printer quotes. But you will want to make sure you check your document prior to sending it off. But this is the format you want to download it in. So you'll go to share, download PDF print, flatten PDF, change the color profile to CMYK color profile, best for professional printing, and then you will download it. That is how you need to download any document that you're preparing to send off to the print center. That is the format that it must be in if you want it to be a high quality print. Otherwise, you'll risk resolution issues, color issues, and that's not what you want, especially if you're investing money into your document being printed. Does that answer that question on printing?
Yeah, I think that really is quite thorough. Yeah.
So in terms of sharing your designs, right when you're in Canva, so say this was a social media post, you have the option to publish your social media posts right from Canva, or you have the option to schedule them right from social media. I don't have my accounts linked right now for multiple reasons that I won't get into at the moment, but I do encourage small business owners to do this. But you are able to schedule this right here in your social media panel here. So you would go to share. Then you would go to see all, scroll down to social media, and then click schedule. As you can see, this is a Canva Pro feature, and then it'll give you a calendar. So say you wanted to schedule this post for Saturday at 2:01 p.m., you would select the channel you would want to post it on. We do have our LinkedIn connected, so I would select the Kutztown SBDC, and you'd be able to write whatever, save a draft or schedule it, and you could schedule your post right away in Canva. So right as you're making it, you could schedule and save it. I think this is a great tool because you can schedule all of your posts, especially with the Magic Resize tool. This is a great opportunity to create the images and social media content in the correct sizes for those different accounts, and then just get them scheduled right away. A great way to do social media content creation is do those batch content creation days. So doing that once a month, getting everything planned out ahead of time can really save you time and get things on the calendar. So this can save you money with social media scheduling platforms, and you can have all of your accounts linked right here into your Canva. Does that help? Does that answer that?
Thank you.
Rachel, I know we've reached 1 o'clock and I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well as yours. And I know that there are a lot of questions still in the Q&A, and maybe some comments and maybe a few questions in chat. I guess I'm happy to hang on for maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. Otherwise, I guess I would just ask if there's a way for us to address questions after the fact and pass it along to everybody who is registered.
I can send my email, but I could also send my my Calendly if you think that's helpful. Whatever you prefer, Cindy, to get
Okay.
people's answer. I could like make 15-minute like
And we might be able just to do anyways, I guess there's a lot of questions here. We have time for a few more.
yeah, I can.
And so I would encourage you to just to grab 1 or 2 or 3 in the Q&A, and let's see if we can get those answered before we finish up today.
Sounds good. All right. Can you please tell me what types of websites Canva will help design? Define low level. Okay, so I can show you an example of a website. So this is what I would call a low level website. Can everyone see this?
Yeah, we could see your screen.
Okay. I have like the chat like caught in my screen here. Let me see. Okay, so this is what I would consider a low level website. Low level meaning people that need to come to the website aren't really coming to the website to purchase anything. They are coming to get contact information, and that's pretty much it. So this was a website created completely with Canva. 100% everything done with Canva. This is hosted on Canva. They purchased a custom URL, but everything about this website was made through Canva. So for the cost of Canva Pro, they're able to host their website here. And then they don't need to pay any additional costs. So this is something I would
Sorry.
call a low level website. Gets the service across, still branded for the business, accessible. But then the small business owner isn't needing to pay an additional website host charge every year on like Wix or GoDaddy or Squarespace. They already use Canva for their social media marketing, so they are able to just host their website right through their Canva Pro membership subscription that they're already paying for. Do you have a question, Val?
I just saw a couple questions that maybe Cindy can answer. It has to do with follow-up with some of these. They're asking about if they would get the transcript of the questions and answers. And also if I guess there's a written summary that Zoom sometimes does, if they could get that as well.
We'll be sending out the recording. I think with the recording comes the transcript.
Okay, great.
Yes, you can have more than one brand on the Canva Pro version. The KU Center, we probably have over 20
Have
or
a bunch.
30 different brands on there, because we work with clients and setting up theirs, so we keep them on file too under our account. So I don't even know if there even is a limit to my knowledge. So as long as you're a pro member, you can keep adding those brands. So Canva Pro has recently gotten into some Canva coding. So I haven't explored that too much myself. I have a web developer on my team who usually works with the websites. So I myself just haven't had hands-on time to explore, so I don't want to give a direct answer. I'd have to give some follow-up with you.
I think the Canva code option is really good for prototypes and something that you just want to show a concept of.
Okay.
but it doesn't give you a whole lot of options in terms of editing or making changes yet. So it's kind of like a proof of concept. Awesome. It does a good job there. At least what I've noticed so far.
Rachel, let's go with one more question and then we'll finish up today's webinar.
Okay. To clarify, when it divides video into highlights, do you lose any video? No. So when you're adding the different highlight sections, you're still retaining the fill video. So in your elements panel, all of your original files still remain there. It's just giving you a shorter clip, so you have a little bit more flexibility to move things around, but you're still retaining the original file.
Okay, great. Thanks. I know there's a lot of questions. I'll share, of course, the Q&A, Rachel, with you. If you'd like to offer short meetings with everyone, I will be happy to send out your Calendly link.
Yes.
For everyone still with us, thank you so much for being with us. I will be sending out a follow-up evaluation. We'd love to hear from you in order to better meet your needs with webinar topics, as well as your feedback on today's webinar. Thank you to Rachel and to Valerie for being with us today. We really appreciate this. Obviously, this is a hot topic, something that we'll need to offer some more events on moving forward. I will be sending out the webinar recording and as well as the presentation slides. Of course, no wrong door. You're always welcome to get in contact with us. And we're here to help answer your questions as best as we can. So with that, thank you so much for being with us. And I hope everyone has a great day.